G'day viewers, hope you're doing well. Hope you've got a cuppa. This is the third video I've read out this morning. As always, I read these articles to improve the accessibility of the information for those who can't or won't go and read it for themselves, and to chuck in my usual commentary. Train Sim World 6 roadmap for October 2025. We have arriving soon, West Coast Mainline Birmingham crew. I've got a separate video on that one. The Avanti BR Class 805, both from All Aboard Studios. Stuttgart Heilbronn, which was the route that the Germans thought they were getting in Train Sim World 6, but they were wrong and they shouldn't listen to leaks. West Coast Mainline crew to Preston from Just Trains. Expert DBBR 145 from Train Sim Germany, fantastic, another torture device, excellent. I love being yelled at in German by trains. Santa Fe gameplay pack from High Iron Simulations. Can you say finally? Oh. And the DBBR 420, what? It's coming out? Really? It's only been 5 years. And the Transport for Wales Class 1 Full 2 Pacer from Just Trains. Actually looking forward to that one because I like the Transport for Wales stuff. Further down the line, a 171 and 377/3 pack, so they're new from Rivet. Rivet, I think, have proved themselves and redeemed themselves because they built Riviera and did I'm going to say it, bloody awesome job. Seriously. We've got the Class 90 coming from Alan Thompson Simulation. We have the Liberec Stara Parker route coming from Vector Simulations, NEC New York to Stamford, the Lisbon Setúbal from Virtual via 360, so this one must be a DTG route. Cargo Line Volume 5 Nuclear from Skyhook Games with the Class 20 Tadami line from Union Workshop, so it's still further down the line. Tadami, when are you coming out? GWR HST Farewell Pack from Grump Dog Games. You know, by the time that actually maybe makes an appearance, all of the HSTs will have rusted away. It's starting to become a Tadami special, isn't it? I think that's what we might call things, actually. Anything that's been more than 5 years, maybe we can call it the Tadami special. Improvements. Great Western Express Remaster, Mild Mainline Richmond Extension from Incredible Trains. We will skip the TLDR because we're going to read the real one. Because we're not lazy bastards. The Train Sim World Roadmap. Welcome to the first Train Sim World 6 roadmap following release, and I think I've already said it, but I read these articles to improve the accessibility of the information for those who can't or won't go and read it for themselves, and to chuck in my own commentary, which is sometimes rude. Never. Firstly, an important message. Thank you to everyone in our community who have been playing Train Sim World 6 since the early access and launch phases, sharing key feedback and talking directly with our teams whilst we get set up across our game platforms. It's been a pleasure this year to see the incredible range of screenshots from the community, sharing reactions of your first experiences with the new features and routes and locos you've picked up. We'd once again like to share a massive thank you to all the people who have helped on board and share information to help welcome new and returning players to Train Sim World 6 throughout access until launch. I think that might be ambassadors, but there you go. There's a few screenshots here from, well, it doesn't actually say who they're from, but there you go. There's a few screenshots here. So, Riviera from the Carnival. Actually, interestingly, I didn't realise that lit up. I have to go look there in Twilight now. And we've got a GWR, we've got some German stuff, we've got some American stuff, we've got a Voyager, which is probably broken down, and we've got an Arrow 3 at Summit. If you're looking to get involved in the screenshot competitions, you can, so there you go. Join the Discord. Be like I think there's nearly 5,000 people on that now. It's quite incredible, actually. For those who are joining us for the first time, the Roadmap article is a monthly check-in that continues the conversation between our teams and all of you for what to expect beyond the launch from both us and our partners, including brand new add-ons, announcements, new updates and details, sneak peeks in our current routes, in development, more ways for you to get involved with our community and challenge yourself with the new mastery rewards available in-game and any key information that you'll need to know. Fans of UK Freight, you may want to keep scrolling for a new announcement. Yes, we know what that is, don't we? We'll also be outlining our progress for post-launch improvements coming to TrainSim World 6 and a summary of what we've been able to release so far. We're listening closely to your feedback and reports, currently in the process of building our next patches to help improve your experience. Now, just a bit on this, okay, because I do see people occasionally still saying Dovetail don't listen. Well, you know what? They do. Get onto the Discord, tell them about stuff, give them examples, show them what's wrong, show them what's happening, give them the correct goss. Oh, and just because you think it's wrong doesn't mean it is. It can be, though. As a bonus this edition, we're almost ready to announce our brand new Dovetail Games title that we teased before our Dovetail Direct this year. Finally, if you're new or returning, yes, brand new games title, yes. I do actually know what it is. We'll see how much they say, because, you know, I have an embargo. Finally, if you're new or returning, be sure to join us for the Roadmap stream. Now, that's already happened, so you can watch it here. I might put a link in the description if I remember, but I have to admit I'm a little bit shitty about doing that, so sometimes I forget. I'll try and remember. And if I don't remember, please poke me in the comments and I'll pop it in. TrainSim World 6 free starter pack until November the 11th. We've been very excited to keep growing the TrainSim World community and welcoming even more players than before as we launch TSW6, and we've brought back our free starter pack this year. So if you've not had a chance to upgrade to TSW6, then why not give it a go for free, whether you're an existing player or a brand new player. In fact, if you don't, at least get it. I don't care if you install it or not, but get it. Add it to your library on whatever platforms you've got. Add it on all of them. If you've got Steam and Epic and Xbox and PlayStation, add it on the whole bloody lot. Because if you don't, you're locking yourself behind a paywall. And then when you start whining at me in a month's time because you have to pay for it, I won't care. So please, please go and get it. You don't have to install it. Just go and get it. Okay. So it includes, same as last time, training center, livery designer, firmware formation designer, and scenario planner. It's yours to keep forever. It does have a new addition, the SD40. I wonder if after the patches you can actually spawn the SD40 by yourself. Should have a look. For those of you who already play TrainSim World, this is a great chance to upgrade and bring all of your TSW compatible content into the latest edition, with more updates and improvements supported, making use of the new SD40 in the training center. As a reminder, make sure to claim your free starter pack before it goes away on November the 11th, as it will stay in your account to play forever, and it will also be your way to access the latest improvements and features. You'll also be able to purchase TSW6 content like the upcoming Birmingham Crew route and all the other stuff that's coming out, like Tadami. Tadami will probably be TSW8. If you're looking for support, just before we dive into the new content, there are facts. There is a guide for downloading add-ons because it is monumentally shit on consoles. TSW6 Getting Started Guide. Oh, look, a message telling me to say not saying monumentally shit on consoles, but it's monumentally shit on consoles. I'm kidding. It was from my wife saying, shut up, I'm trying to sleep. TSW6 Getting Started Guide, Dovetail Games support website. Content up ahead. Let's dive into the new add-ons coming, first starting with new releases from our own development teams and then moving into add-ons from our partners. Frankenbahn, Stuttgart to Heilbronn from Dovetail Games. Let's start off with the new route for our fans of German content. Of course, this is our announced adventure to southwest Germany with 50 kilometres of freight yards and fields and, of course, an extremely busy timetable. Heading back into the 2000s era with a brand new German route coming from the Dovetail Games team. Explore over 50 kilometres in southwest Germany on an extremely busy 2000s era route with a mix of big freight yards and fields. Will they have anything in them though? Brand new DB BR140 and the new DB Wittenberger Steuerwagen. Steuerwagen. Sounds exciting, doesn't it? But it really means cab car. Okay. Last month, we shared the above route alongside some work-in-progress models, and today we've got updated models for the new DB-BR 140 locomotive and the Wittenberger Steuerwagen from our development team to showcase. So here is the 140 looking remarkably shiny and clean. I hope they weather it a bit. It does look it's still a little bit in the raw state there, so it's probably not complete, I hope. It needs some more weathering. More weathering. It's got a window into the machine room in the middle there. Cool. Nice grease spots on the buffers. I like that. It's an interesting shaped machine. It reminds me a little bit of a Volkswagen. The camper van. Here is the inside of the cab. Oh joy, it's a tap changer. Excuse me, I spent my entire day yesterday yelling at a trainee. Not because he's doing anything wrong, but because we're in a steam engine and it's bloody loud and it's taken a toll on my voice. We've got the steering wheel, of course. No, it's a tap changer. It's the Bremsen Fahrrad wheel, so faster and slower for us mere mortals who only understand English. And we have an empty first aid area where there's nothing stocked in the shelves, so if you hurt yourself, well, tough. Looks like a fairly interesting machine. I hope we can turn that heater on. I look forward to that glowing. Bet you can't. It's from Train Sim Germany. It probably can. They tend to make everything work. Alrighty, let's scroll down to the Wittenberger Steuerwagen. See, it's a cab car. Yay, cab cars. Hate them. Anyway, I universally hate cab cars. I'm sorry, I just do. When I drive a train, I want it to make noise. These things don't make noise. Hate them. Okay, good. Got that out of the way. If you love them, good. Let me know in the comments. Tell me I'm a dickhead. It's fine. Probably am. Now that looks like an uncomfortable second man seat. It's like a little office chair. And look, the driver gets this big comfy bouncy thing. Much better. These are bouncy chairs. They're grouse. They're really good. Anyway, I get excited over stupid things. We're also checking with our timetable expert, Joe, for a look at the ongoing development. It's early progress on the layers, but an exciting one I wanted to share so far in a full-length IR service up to Heilbronn and beyond to Erfurt, returning to Stuttgart later in the day. The train is unique, being pulled by a diesel loco and having just 4 coaches. We'll continue to keep you updated on our progress with the add-on. As some extra behind-the-scenes detail, our teams will be travelling to the route for an audio recording session next week, so hopefully in the November roadmap we can share some screenshots from the visit. NEC New York Stamford from Dovetail Games. Coming from the teams is a whole new experience to exploring the Northeast Corridor. Get ready with a new Metro North route from Grand Central or New York Penn to Stamford in brand new Metro North M8 locomotive. Get the M8, it's great, mate. Yeah. It's a weird one, the M8. From the DTG team, head to the USA and explore the Northeast Corridor with local New York freight. Good. I hope that's what I think it is, but I'm not going to say what I think it is in case it's not what I think it is, and then you'll be sad. Choose to head off from Grand Central Terminal to the Stamford via the Metro North route, or New York Penn to Stamford via the NEC route. Get your hands on the new Metro North M8 logo. Back in August this year, as part of the Direct, we shared the initial summary of the route, and in our upcoming roadmaps you can expect more details and information as it comes through. For now, here's the route map that you can expect from the line, which runs from New York through New Rochelle and Stamford. Those of you who have been here before, in the past, in the somewhat distant past, might in fact recognize that this actually is the ancient Northeast Corridor route. To some extent, kinda, because it went partway along this particular route and made no point whatsoever, which is one of the reasons it went away. This will now bring it in, and it makes it make a point, so it'll actually be quite useful. So, Northeast Corridor, New York to Stamford. I actually quite like the 50s feel of the diagram here. I quite like this, but it's more modern stuff than that, but I just like the feel of the graphic. It's cool. But anyway, I just thought I'd say that. So this is the New York copy of the Sydney Harbour Bridge that they stole, of course, which I think is the Devil's Gate Bridge from memory. But, you know, they just stole our bridge. When I say our bridge, it's in Sydney because I hate it because I'm from Melbourne and I'm required to hate it. It's actually in our state laws of both in Victoria and New South Wales that we are required to hate each other. There you go. They call us Mexicans. Do you know that? Isn't that sad? That's okay. I won't tell you what we call them because my friends who live up there will probably punch me. That's okay. Not really, it would hurt. Anyway, this is the M8 over here. Can you see my cursor? You can't see my cursor. There's no point me circling the train then. So expect the unexpected, the M8. So the M8's got this funny little upper headlight cluster on top of it. They have quite a unique sound too, the M8s. I've ridden these in real life in New York. So quite looking forward to it because it's a weird one, the M8. It really is. It has, I have to say, a little bit more of a UK train feel than an American train feel. So, expect the unexpected, as they say. I am looking forward to this one. This should be good. In the Train Sim World Partner Program. So we'll have a look at the incredible range of content we have coming from our wonderful third-party developers and partners. Birmingham Crew from All Aboard Studios. I'm actually going to skip over this completely because I've got a separate video on Birmingham Crew, and this is only going to totally repeat stuff that we've already seen, but we will scroll through the screenshots and stuff. But I'm not going to read any of it out because we've already got it in another video. So go watch that one. See, that's my way of getting my view count up. Not really. It's just that I'm losing my voice and I don't want to read it again. That's pretty cool. Yes. I don't know what this propensity is for the UK to rip the roofs off stations, but I did notice quite a few when I was there. I guess they can't maintain them all. There we go. Oh, actually, there's some stuff that's it's not in the other one, so we'll talk about this. Freight plays a vital role too. Basford Hall Yard and its sorting sidings come to life with Class 66, of course, the Grand Shed. Operated intermodal trains plus HKA and FKA wagon layers if you own compatible content. These yards and holding roads around Crew are used for empty case services and charter stock with plenty of hidden movement across the sidings and depots. And there's rail tours, yay. And this is a Class 350, yay. Oh, I found out what these things actually are. These things on poles. They're junction lighting. So in this case, I think they're lighting up a footpath, but we saw them in a route and no one knew what they were, and I've seen them in real life. They are actually lighting that comes on to help work on the junctions at night time. Anyway. Do we need to read that? No, it's the same as the other video. There you go. So on Tuesday, 14th of October, there will be a preview. Now, I've ridden on this line from a fairly unique perspective with a good friend, and I will let you know if it's realistic or not, because, been there, done that. Let's see what the All Aboard Studios team are working on. The Class 805 from All Aboard Studios. All aboard for a new chapter in West Coast mainline operations. The BR Class 805 is now making its mark in Train Sim world. Not yet. Bringing with it a new level of realism, control, and immersion for intercity travel between London, Euston, and Milton Keyes. What exactly is immersion? It's where they drown you in a fish tank. This 5-car bi-mode unit is built for flexibility with seamless transitions between electric and diesel traction as you drive. You'll be managing power modes in real-time, switching from electric on the fast lines of south of Watford to diesel when operating off the wires. Acceleration is crisp under electric traction and steady diesel power, giving each mode a distinct feel and driving style. Oh, that's where the Watford comment came from one of my lot. So Watford's not part of this. Just to be clear, okay? It's just not. It will be on Milton Keynes, yes. And why I say that, because there was a comment on my Discord. So this is Birmingham Crew, okay? Birmingham Crew. And down here, when we go to London, am I going the right way? I'm going the right way. It's Watford, okay? It's not on Birmingham Crew. Not. It's on Euston Milton Keynes, yes. This 5-car bi-mode unit is built for flexibility with seamless transitions between electric and diesel traction as you drive. You'll be managing power modes in real time, switching from electric on the fast line south of Watford to diesel when operating off the wires. Acceleration is crisp under electric traction and steady under diesel power. which is what it's really saying is it's a slug, giving each mode a distinct feel and driving style. And of course, it'll be seamless with us going button, button, button. There you go. Inside the cab, the layout has been amended to match Avanti West Coast's spec, while familiar to players of the AT300 family. Do we have one of them? The Class 805's cab presents its own identity with subtle layout changes, new labels, and modernised signage. These tweaks, along with updated lighting and cabin tone, reflect the real-world environments and help deliver a more immersive feel at the controls. I reckon an AI wrote that paragraph. Walk into the passenger saloon and you'll see the difference immediately. All seating, carpets, tables, and branding have been updated to match Avanti's real-life interior styling. The dynamic LCD-style passenger information screens adding life and relevance to each journey. A brand new high-detail kitchen model adds further visual fidelity and sets a new benchmark for interior accuracy. Sip and Sunny mode coming soon. Audio has been comprehensively reworked, including completely refreshed traction motor sounds, tuned diesel engine audio, and separate mixes for the cab, passenger area, and exterior. Inside the cab, binaural audio makes the driving experience more natural and reactive to your surroundings. Binaural audio, if you've never heard of it before, it's a kind of a surround sound concept, but remixed into stereo. It makes it feel like the sounds are coming from other places. So instead of just having being here or here, it makes it feel like it's behind you or in front of you or whatever, just with some clever audio stuff. It'll be interesting to see how well it actually works in a game context. The 805 also benefits from the latest features in Train Sim World, including improved suspension physics, new passenger ambience, service-linked announcements, and the potential for unexpected train faults, adding new depth and challenge. Backing all of this is the brand new 2025 working timetable of the West Coast Mainline South route between London, Euston, and Milton Keynes Central. Included in this pack are 27 playable services based on real-world Avanti West Coast diagrams, along with 5 detailed and varied scenarios that take from cold starts to stormy express runs and everything in between. So, an updated timetable for the routes. Well, that's cool. Stay tuned for more details from the AABS team. Bad name, guys, just saying. And I've had another surprise that will be accompanying the Class 805 pack. But they don't tell us what it is, so it's a surprise. Santa Fe gameplay pack from High Iron, bringing 1990s railroading to the Cahoon Pass route. Do you have the Cahoons? Keep the Santa Fe gameplay pack on your radar from High Iron Simulation Team as we get closer to release. Now, this still looks great, but when are we getting it? The pack promises robust, authentic operating experience. More than 250 timetable services and 5 scenarios will feature mainline intermodal and freight trains, switching, and locals. I like the locals. The services are closely based on the actual Santa Fe freight services of the era. Additionally, Union Pacific freight action on Cahoon Pass will be represented in an extra layer using UP equipment from the Sherman Hill route add-on. Cahoon Pass is an interesting one. It's just a steady grind going up the hill, set and forget, go away, have lunch, drink a few beers, enjoy yourself, watch a movie, come back, you might be at the top of the hill. Downhill, it's a different matter. It's a poker factor route. If you're interested in this add-on, take a dive into the massive collection. Yes, well, no. So we see Santa Fe and UP here with the many unbranded, uncoloured trailers. Fancy something new? Let's check in with our friends with Rivet Games for a new add-on announcement, announcing the Class 171 and 377/3 pack from Rivet Games. Coming from our friends at Rivet Games is an all-new add-on. Well, you just talked about it in the headings. You don't need to say it again, including those 7 and 8 versions for the 171. Rivet Games, these accompany a new timetable for East Coastway, using the December 2017 to May 2018 working timetable. It adds Gatwick Express and Thameslink AI to Brighton, as well as the London Eastbourne Southern services playable between Lewes and Eastbourne. Is it Lewes or Lewis? I can't remember. Might be Lewis. Which were missing from the original timetable. I.e., they forgot. What? No. Yes. The Class 171 is a variant of the Class 170 operated by Southern. The primary difference is the fitting of Delner coupler rather than the usual BSI coupler for emergency coupling to Southern's electric multiple unit fleet. Southern has shuffled around their 171s a bit, but since our timetable is set in 2017-2018, we're including the 2-car 177/7 and the 4-car 171/8. Did I say 177/7? I did. What an idiot. The 171/7. The train has audio improvements which will be backported into the Cross City and Fife Circle 170s. Well, that's good. Nice to know they'll be updated. Here's an interior of the cab. The Class 377/3 units were originally built as 375/3s for Connex Southeastern, later Southeastern, but 28 of them were transferred to Southern. Their designation was changed when they were transferred to reflect the fitting of driver-only operation equipment, and they're changed to Delner couplers, although the 375s would eventually get Delners as well. They are formed of 3 carriages and are third rail only. Ridden them. The main difference between the 377/3 and the 377s already in Trainsim World are the older headlight clusters, the interior, which is 2+2 seating throughout with first class only on one end, and the number of cars is 3 instead of 4. A bit like the Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch. This change in formation also has the knock-on effect of performance feeling a little bit different, with less motor coach than before. I'm hoping my voice filter will filter out the kitchen noise that's happening at the moment, but if it doesn't, oh well. Enjoy. This is a family. We live here. You can see here a view out of the cab with the screens that don't work. Fantastic. In this timetable, we'll mostly operate the Seaford services in addition to a few roaming sets working with the existing 377/4s. If the player owns the Class 313, they will substitute randomly for the 377/3. We'll be sharing more details about the pack, including the timetable details and more in the coming weeks ahead. Currently, Privet Games are also investigating any further changes to the East Coastway route alongside this pack, and we'll keep you updated once we confirm and share more news. East Coastway is quite popular. It's actually a really good route. So it's one of the older ones. It'd be nice to have some updates to it. Let's cross the seas and head to a brand new country for Trainsim World. Here comes Chechnya. Liberec Stara Parker from Vector Simulations. Announced back in the direct event, we'll be welcoming Vector Simulations into the family, a new country, and today even more screenshots. Well, there you go. So it's the first ever Czech route in TSW. What does that bring us up to now? 13 countries, I think? Developed by new third-party partners Vector Simulations. Explore the Jizera Mountains in northern Chechnya. With 80 kilometres of fast-paced single-track main line. How do you get fast-paced and single-track? Drive the Class 843 in fields and tight mountain passes. Take multiple Class 750 engines on demanding grades. Yard work, passenger traffic to malfunctioning express retrieval. Okay. As we're getting closer to release, we'd like to present to you some new and interesting features we've included in the route Liberec Stara Parker. Group signals. Still many older stations in Czech Republic have group signals. This means one signal controls multiple tracks. If a train is departing from this signal, then the dispatcher needs to call that train and say that their train can depart to avoid any confusion. So when you'll be driving from Turnov or Richnov Ujablonsk and Nisau stations, dispatcher will call you on your locomotive radio first. These signals have the diagonal black and white signs. You'll definitely be sure if you should expect a call or not. That's pretty cool. I actually like that concept. Good that they're bringing that into the game. That's quite a new kind of thing. I think this might be one of the first shots we've seen from this as well. And that's a new tree asset. That's a different one for sure. I think that might be as well. So maybe there's a bit of local tree action happening here. Banking with the Class 750, we have included some scenarios where you will need banking engines at the end of your train. Our new banking system includes simulated driver into banking locomotives. You won't be controlling those directly. Instead, you'll be using audible signals with locomotive horn or whistle to tell the banking drivers if you need to be pushed. These drivers also try to respect speed limits, so they should stop you pushing if you need to brake. Now, this is interesting because they say this is new, but it's not. because that's actually what Peak Forest had. When you want to tell the banking engines to push, you blow a particular whistle code, but no one knew how to do that, so it changed, and they just follow you. So we'll see what happens here. I still think this Class 750, it looks like Bender from Futurama. It really does. So I keep expecting these locomotives to stand up in the air and say, "Bite my shiny metal ass," because that's what Bender says a lot. There you go. Safety systems. Our locomotives come with LVZ and LS90 safety systems. Both of these look similar in theory, as LS90 is a newer version of LVZ. As this route in reality doesn't use any code transmission systems, you will mostly only use vigilance features of those, but we have also implemented outside forces which can interfere with older LVZ, even if there isn't any code transmitted. So don't be surprised when a red light on the repeater will flash for a second while you are driving near high voltage power lines and or terrorists. There's the control panel for voltage, I guess. We'll have to learn some of these words, won't we? There's the in-cab signalling system. Lots of little gauges. It's a very analog machine by the looks of it, which is kind of cool. And they do have train gates. And those look like they might be different car assets too. Demanding scenarios. The route will come in 7 scenarios varying from easy to really demanding. You'll need to operate radios, couple trains together at Limerick Yard, encounter multiple signalling and level crossing failures, and even drive diverted container train. You can find some historic and technical landmarks placed around our route. Have you ever seen the Jested TV Tower? Nope. Or have you visited the Harubi Rozek Castle? You can do both here. No, I haven't. So we will. Okay. Additionally included with the release, you'll be able to dive into multiple liveries for the Class 750 and 843 as shown below. So, bright coloured Bender. Excellent. Bite my shiny metal ass. And this is the little rail cars, the 843s. They look a lot like South Australian bluebirds, I think. Interesting. Thank you from the Vector Simulations team. We can't wait to show more. We confirm this route will be unbranded, but we hope you'll be able to enjoy your journey and experience the new part of the railway without this release. That irks some people. I personally don't give a crap. If they look basically right, that makes me happy. Couldn't give a crap about operator brands. I really couldn't. Alrighty. It's a relatively nice nighttime shot. As for our other new country announcement direct, we're checking in a short update from the Virtua Via 360 team, Lisbon Setúbal from Virtua Via 360. Portugal, country 14, I think, maybe. I should check that out. Actually, be right instead of just guessing, because I'm probably wrong. Someone will tell me in the comments, I'm sure, because, it's the internet. I like telling you things in the comments. First ever Portuguese route in Trainsim World from newly TSW development partner. We've looked at this before. 54k stretch from Lisbon to Setúbal, crosses the 25D Abreu Bridge, a major Portugal landmark. Operates suburban services with the new Series 3500 electric multiple unit. Experience Portuguese safety systems and signalling, adding an all-new challenge to learn. Great. Thanks to everyone for great feedback and warm reception of the news of the add-on. The team has been working quite hard in adding all the little pieces that make Portugal a country unique for you to discover in Trainsim World. We can't wait to see even more about our project. Here's a screenshot. And looks like tram tracks. Looks like they're in concrete. I hope not. I hope that's just an artifact of the screenshot, because that looks... Yeah. That ballasting really doesn't look good at all. Sorry. Maybe it's an artifact of the screenshot. I don't know. Oh, we'll see. Maybe the tracks really are just set in concrete around there. It's possible. Some places do that. We'll be keeping up the team in the months ahead. Tadami! Tadami! This is the longest running route, and it's right up there with the TSG 420. Release the damn thing! As we continue our journey across the world, we find ourselves in the familiar and welcoming grace of Union Workshop, bringing the beautiful Tatami line to Train Sim World 6, and introducing Japan as country number 15. Like I said, tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. I'm sure you will. Please do. I don't mind. I actually like comments. And we can see here a couple of electric multiple units. Actually, no, one's a diesel, isn't it? Maybe they're both diesels. I can't remember. Anyway, shoot me. We've been following the team for quite some time now. Yes, we have. So if you've been looking to catch up on the key updates from the Union Workshop team, please check back on the previous roadmap articles, i.e. we have no new details for you. This is an interior view. It does look very Japanese. That's the driving cabin there. Walk through into the other part. Cool. This is very Japan. The little icons you see everywhere. Kia 40 Series diesel cars. There you go. Diesels. I'm a dick. Replacing the aging vehicles on suburban and rural services. A total of 888 vehicles were built from 1977 to 1982, from the northernmost Hokkaido to the southernmost Kyushu. They have been widely operated all around Japan. It's a fairly cool looking unit, lots of switches. It looks remarkably like the TSC version. I wonder why. Probably because it's the same train. I do remember the infuriating panel that lights up in characters that you can't read, but that's okay. I would love to have, and it's something I've poked Matt about a bit, is a way not to change these to be English, but getting subtitles for announcements in English, but also being able to hover over things, hover over stickers like these, and seeing the English counterpart. Subtitles, I reckon, is promising. The other stuff, maybe not, but we'll see. Because you can actually hover over the switch and it'll tell you, but I'd like to hover over the sticker. The Kia 40 is powered by an inline 6-cylinder diesel engine outputting a massive 220 horsepower. The power performance is far from powerful, making it quite challenging to drive on the slopes. We have the comprehensive air conditioning of the rotated chop your head off fans, made for short people inside the car. Since the 1990s, Kia 40s have been gradually replaced by newer and more powerful vehicles. However, there are still hundreds of them in operation nowadays, becoming a nostalgic symbol of railway lines. I can't speak. You actually see loads of them as you're riding along in the Shinkansen, along routes that parallel the Shinkansen, but go a whole lot slower. There we go. There's an accessibility section with God rays from the sun. We'll keep you updated on more information as release dates. The team continued to develop the add-on. Thank you to Union Workshop for this recent update. Oh, there's another announcement from ATS. Alan Thompson's simulation. He's more sarcastic than me. Yep. Hands up if you've been looking for new UK freight. Well, our friends at ATS have been working on the very solution with the Class 90 add-on. So, yes, the Class 90, not a 66, it's a 90. There you go. I'll just let you absorb that. There you go, new freight locomotive. Move on. We're pleased to announce the arrival of the Class 90 electric locomotive for Train Sim World 6. The mixed traffic loco has been a staple of the UK network for over 30 years. Which is interesting. Do you know how many of them I saw on both of my trips? Bupkis. So they're not around very much at all. There you go. It's a view of the cab, nicely weathered and detailed. Whether hauling passenger trains at 110 mile an hour or container freight at 75, the Class 90 is equally at home. Powered by thyristor control, it was a modernised successor to the Class 87, offering improved solid-state traction and reliability. Or reliability, as someone I know says. Same guy says monumentum instead of momentum. Drivers often praise the Class 90 for its comfortable ergonomic cab and helpful driver aids like Speed Set, which maintains a set speed and reduces workload, especially on long runs. You can see a pantograph not touching a wire. Great. The first Class 90 DLC will highlight freight capabilities, ensuring you can run up to time up and down the West Coast Main Line South without interfering with higher priority traffic. There's a closer view of the Class 90, the same one we saw in the other one. We're excited to share more progress soon and look forward to seeing this modern icon in action on TSW6. Check in with the TSG team, the expert DBBR145 from TSG. Are you looking for the ultimate simulation experience with the highest level of detail that TSW can offer? If yes, then get ready for the second ever expert loco and add-on coming from the TSG team, the expert DBBR145, offering a wealth of new features and simulations following the success of their first expert loco. Second ever, featuring DB and RBH liveries, features, yes, manual brake hose operation, working angle cocks. Interestingly, this is capable of being simulated on all of them. I just don't. Now, I would actually like to be able to go and connect brake hoses and stuff, to be honest with you, because it's a fun part of working in other games like, let's see, Run 8 and Railroader. So, it'd be cool. Do it to all of them. New T3000E container wagons and additional content on the Dresden-Leipzig TSW6 core route. So it's an expert T3000. Terminator. It's going to come and get you, John Connor. From our Dovetail Direct event, we revealed the first bits of information, blah, 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 blah. Same stuff we've said before. Good. There you go. They almost look like well wagons, those things, but they hold trucks. It's cool. All containers. There you go. That looks like a placeholder, that thing. Doesn't look like a real model because it's all grey. There's the Class 145 with both pantographs down. Good. Driving along. Good. With its tail light showing. Good. Okay. Need some work then. There's one parked in a yard. Great. 145000. Is that real? What if it is? Or if that's just early works and the numbering doesn't happen yet. The add-on will bring more content for owners of TSW6 Leipzig-Dresden core route. The DB VR420. It's the, been talking about it for quite some time. Yeah, no kidding. 5 years, maybe 6. Could be 6. The DBBR420 is finally shaping up and getting closer to its release. Back in August, we shared the first work-in-progress screenshots. And the TSG also confirmed some extra information you can expect from this loco add-on. There it is. Not really a loco. It's more of a train, but that's fine. It's an electric multiple unit. Numbering works on that one. Look, 123-4. Good. Oh. But not up there. 420-000-0. Nope. Okay. It will now contain 5 versions of the train. Of course, the well-known 8 Series Munich variant and the 6 Series Frankfurt RMV version with pocket doors and the older cab. We've added an orange-grey livery with a changed cab and different interiors to the pack. This variant will also be split into 3 separate trains with some differences. One Frankfurt version for AI use on the 1984 Left Rhine timetable released with the DBBR 194 E94 Rail Tour Pack add-on. There you go. So it's an older-looking unit. And it's got stuff. It looks pretty familiar, actually. I think we'll be able to manage this quite well. Currently, their team are working on additional gameplay, including a timetable for Munich-Augsburg, which replaces some of the DB-BR423s with the new 420s, and additionally, the 420 will support the upcoming Stuttgart Heilbronn add-on. We're keeping you updated over the next 5 years as we work towards release. Good. Yes. Nice to have some updates to Munich-Augsburg. Crew Preston from Just Trains. So they've shared a glimpse about this before, and Just Trains have got a dev blog on this as well. So we can see here a little cruiser with multiple liveries and multiple coach types flying through a station. Unnumbered locomotive, though. Well, there might be a number up that end. It's interesting, there's nothing up this end. Just Trains says our next development update focuses on the 2 biggest stations in the West Coast main line between Crewe and Preston, naming Warrington Bank Quay and Wigan Northwestern. Wigan? That's where Harry comes from, I think. Warrington Bank Quay is located 24 miles north of Crewe and is a stop for many cross-country and West Coast mainline services, whilst interregional passenger trains from locations such as Scarborough also stop here, with some of these featuring loco haulage back in 1986. So we see Warrington Bank Quay Station with an industrial complex next door. One of the most common types of freight train are the merry-go-round coal workings, with trains featuring up to 45 HA hopper wagons shuffling constantly between pit and power station. These trains will not only be seen in the platforms at Bank Quay, but also utilising the line to Fiddler's Ferry Power Station, which passes directly below the station itself. Outside of the coal trains, a wide variety of other freight is also seen at Warrington, including container trains which can pass through at high speed. Indeed, some loco changes also take place here, chiefly on steel trains, adding once again to the interest of the station. That kind of says to me that you don't get to do any of that. That's AI. The station area is dominated and overlooked by the soap factory, which we have recreated in full detail within the route. Sadly, however, not able to include the company aroma that many associate with a day spent at the end of Warrington Bank Quay, i.e. it stinks. There's Wigan. Wigan. Okay, Wigan Northwestern is the next station to the north of Warrington, located 11 miles down the line and 15 miles south of Preston. Again, this station is served by most of the express passenger services, and though it's still possible to see this passing through at high speed, an exhilarating experience with the curves at both ends of the station. Aside from the expresses, Wigan Northwestern is also served by local services to and from Liverpool via St Helens, with two of these continuing north to Blackpool, meaning an extended run along the West Coast main line with a diesel multiple unit is feasible in this route. Feasible. That suggests to me they're not actually doing it, it just could be done. Once again, a good amount of freight passes Northwestern Station, with a notable inclusion being the 4S57 Freightliner, which changes from a Class 47/3 to electric traction here, providing an added layer of interest for evening train spotting. That tells me it's AI. So you don't get to do any of it. Great. We'll be providing more detail on other exciting operations at both Warrington and Wigan in further updates. At both Warrington, Arpley and Wigan Springs Branch Depot included and heavily featured, you're sure to find plenty to do on the West Coast mainline crew to Preston. Now let's switch over to another add-on, the TFW Class 142 Pacer from Just Trains, the bouncy bus truck. There we go. There's a couple of them sitting in a station. Pretty exciting. Those must look unbranded, actually. For this month's roadmap, the Just Trains team have provided a time-lapse of going on at Cardiff Central. I won't play this one because it's not Transcend World 6 music and I'll get copyright struck, so go and watch it for yourself if you want to. Just search for Just Trains TFW Class 142, that'll be enough. Cardiff Central K-A-D catalogue. There you go. There's a branded version of the thing. So we look up there. I don't know if it's just the light, but that doesn't look like that. See, it looks quite different. This one's all grey, and it's got a yellow stripe. It's this one. Doesn't. Right. Good. Yep. Transport for Wales, the start of a new journey. Yes, we're giving you shitty trains while we wait for good ones. Great. The pace is fun. The timetable included is set in 2019, where the service pattern on the Valley lines was quite different compared to how it is now. Instead of trains going from Corrigan to Penarth, the trains from Corrigan instead went to Radia, a journey much quicker by foot as it's a U-shape, and the Penarth trains instead go to Bargod and Rimney instead of Corrigan. There you go. There's a Cardiff Bay train. You'll have a good amount to look out for, including Class 802s, 150s, 165s and HST castle sets for GWR traffic, 170s and the once-a-day Class 220 for cross-country and the longer distance Transport for Wales services. You will have Class 150s in their XATW guise. Hopefully it's the good Class 150. There's a couple of paces on the curves. Class 142s won most of the Valley Line diagrams, but in 2019, Transport for Wales had a couple of Class 37 diagrams with Mark 2Fs running services up to Rimney, which you'll be able to drive up to Heath High Level. There you go, another pacer. You'll also be able to drive most of these diagrams with the Class 150 and 153s, both of which are in their XATW liveries. We look forward to sharing more when nearing release. And some more paces here. The Class 153/3 comes in original and revised XATW liveries. Well, there we go. That's what the other one was. So you've got the blue with the yellow stripe. Does that mean that the one we looked at up there isn't a pacer? No, it's a pacer. There you go. Okay, so we're getting two pacer liveries, that would seem, and a 150 livery as well. Where were we? There we were. We were here, 153, 320. I thought the 153s were the single cars, but that's a double. Anyway, the 150/2 comes in a revised XATW livery as well. Cool. We'll check in with more details with the Just Train team soon. HST farewell tour from Grump Dog Games, if they don't all rust away first. Let's welcome in Liam, the lead developer of Grunt Dog Games, infamous for work on the West Somerset Railway remaster. Infamous? Why infamous? That makes it sound like it was shit, but it wasn't. It was good. And the upcoming GWE remaster. He's now got his sights on a new add-on, which we announced back in August, acting as a tribute to the HST's final years in service with GWR, as well as a celebration of 200 years of modern railways. This, to me, feels like another Tadami, because it's been years, and I have a faint suspicion that he just keeps adding stuff to it, and it may never come out, because it's Liam's plaything. But we'll see. Hopefully it will. So there we go. GWR HST with the dragon thing on it. The Farewell Tour GG Grump Dog Games, the HST Farewell Pack celebrates 200 years of modern railways by focusing on one of the most recognisable times in the UK and their final days of mainline service with GWR. Included are 7 iconic HST powercar designs that were worn by the GWH HSTs, along with 2 Mark I HST barrier coach designs. Class 43 power car, 43002 Sir Kenneth Grange in BR blue and yellow with nameplate. 43093 Old Oak Common GWR green with OOC vinyl and nameplate. 43185 Great Western Intercity Swallow. 43187 and 188 Welshman GWR green with the white dragon. 43188 Welshman GW green with the yellow dragon. So one's yellow, one's white, or is this one sometimes they're both white? I don't understand. Class 43 power cars, GW green with the vinyl GWR logo. 43 power car sets with GWR green unbranded. There you go. It's the Intercity 125 wearing out, of course. 1253001. There's a couple more of them, looking remarkably like their Hornby versions, but that's okay. The included scenarios take place on both GWE and the new Riviera line, each based on real events relating to the power cars, from the first passenger run of 43002 in BR Blue to the unveiling of 43093 at Old Oak Common Depot Open Day, and of course the final HST runs out of Paddington. It was important to make these scenarios there as authentic as possible, even on the smaller details, such as creating dynamic weather patterns based on the real-world weather of the day that the scenario is based on. Timings of that match the train schedule on the day and even unit numbers where possible. That's actually fairly impressive. There's a little knot of passengers coming racing out going, ooh, dragon. Although it's white and a yellow dragon. There you go. Explains everything. On the timetable side of things, the power cars sub into all existing GWR HST services across TSW, both for the player and AI. Some extra unique services are also included for Great Western Express Remaster and Riviera line that make use of power cars and the Mark I HST barrier coaches, giving players the opportunity to drive empty stock moves using the new stock. There you go. There's quite a bunch of HSTs there. There's a few, 1 or 2. Blue. Some GWR things, some VJ things, and some East Midlands Trains things. Very good. Thank you to Liam. There we go. Patches and updates. Do we want to go through these? We've got videos on the patches. Surely not. Right. I think we'll skip those. Let's look at the next set of updates, though. So this is good. Okay. This is the next set of updates that will be coming in coming days. So we get added in-game guidance when train faults occur, added PZB AWS to German UK temporary speed restrictions, fixed train faults occurring despite the setting being disabled. We've actually been through all this in the other video, so yeah, let's not go through this. We don't need to because we already have. There's another video. Go watch it. All right. Additional compatible content layers. As a final note, we're aware of a few cases of layers appearing ahead of when we planned. Class 220 Voyager and Manport is poor commuter. Yes, there's, yes. Okay, yes. So stuff's happening on other routes. Yeah, I'd noticed that. All right. So if the layers appear and they work, it's not necessarily what's intended. There you go. But you can enjoy it in the meantime. It's like, oops, we accidentally released this. Bugger. Epic Games compatible content. The sore thumb comes out. From Transcend World 6's launch, the Epic Games Store has only supported a curated selection of the most played compatible content available to play. We know this has been frustrating. We've heard feedback from our communities. Yes, they've been a little bit vocal. But, you know, I actually don't understand why anybody uses the Epic Store, to be honest. We've since confirmed all of our compatible content available on our other platforms will be arriving to Transcend World 6, and this will happen in multiple phases. The second phase, introducing 17 further add-ons, will be arriving next week on October the 14th, and remaining content at a later date. See the infographic below. Yep, so that's nothing new. That's just the same stuff we've had talked about before. The ones arriving in Phase 2, DBBR 101, Expert DBBR 101, Manchester Airport Commuter, London Overground Mildmay, Maintalbahn, Salzburg Rosenheim, Harlem Line, Fife Circle, Mittenwaldbahn, Niedertalbahn, Blackpool Branches, Preston Carlisle, Bernina-Lini, Midland Main Line, Rapid Transit, Birmingham Cross City, and the Railhead Treatment Train. Thank you for staying patient with our teams while we ensure compatibility is fully supported in Epic Games and continue to ensure this works in the future. Confirm the date of the final release. Yes, hopefully they will do something better for Epic next year with TSW7. There, I said it. Unbranded Caltrain content returning to Transcend World 6 back in 2025. Due to our licensing agreement with Caltrain expiring, we had to remove some of these licensed add-ons from the store pages. They still work in Transcend World 5, though. Excuse me, talking too much. Our teams work with new licenses all the time to bring an authentic experience to Transcend World with inclusion of real-world brands. However, in rare cases, our licenses expire without renewal, and while we do our best to work closely with licenses, it can result in us needing to make changes. Yep. On October 16th, we'll be releasing an unbranded versions of the following add-ons, so if you do have previously owned Caltrain branded versions, you'll be able to download the unbranded versions for free on the same platform and account and enjoy them in Transcend World 6. Peninsula Corridor, San Francisco to San Jose, MP36PH3C Baby Bullets, MP15DC Diesel Switcher. These add-ons will also return to store pages in their unbranded form if you're looking to get this content for the first time. We appreciate your patience, blah, blah, blah. PC edit improvements and mod manager support. As a refresher, Transcend World's PC editor is a PC-only editor based on Epic Games' own Unreal Engine 4 editor, i.e. we can't give it to you on console because Epic don't. This will give you the tools to create almost any content you can imagine. There you go. If you know how. PC editor will only be distributed via the Epic Games Store, but will be compatible with both Epic and Steam version of Transcend World 6. Whilst this is a difficult and advanced tool to use, we've seen incredible community creations from new routes, logos, and features sharing developments using the editor, and some of these projects have been progressed into fully released add-ons. There you go. You can get into the editor if you really want to. New mod manager functionality. God, would they find those icons? Bloody VB6? God. With the launch of TSW6 version of PC Editor, we're introducing a new mod manager will aim to make the process of getting mods into the game simpler compared to the previously fairly complicated processes for cooking and packaging. We've created a full mod manager explanation guide, worked with this new tool on the forums, so that's just, it's a packaging system, basically. Players don't need it. PC Editor improvement and feedback. As a note, we're aware of some existing issues with the PC Editor. Speaking received with uncooked assets. Looking to keep assisting the editor community with future updates. And there's PC Editor forums and stuff. And community forums, this is about as far as we ever go in these things, but there is our new mastery posters coming out with a challenge badge that you can stick on your imaginary shoulder that you can't see in the game anyway. Good. So complete 3 scenarios, timetables, or tutorials, collect 8 collectibles, complete 5 timetables after exceeding 100 mile per hour, 160 kilometers an hour, drive 350 miles or 563 kilometers, complete 15 scenarios or timetables. Right. So you do 3 and then 15. Right. Good. Okay, that doesn't make sense. New mastery. Oh, so it's the multiple tiers of mastery. The new mastery will be split into 2 tiers to work through, adding more challenge and goals to complete and unlocking the badge. Have fun with that. Train Sim World API support. We wanted to share new documentation. You know, we're opening that in a new tab. What exactly is the API and why should players care? Well, most of you shouldn't. The API stands for Application Programming Interface, and it's how systems can talk to each other. So this means as developers can now create their own applications which can interface directly with Train Sim World without using any kind of hacks or non-standard approaches. Like the adding the rail driver DLL for Cobra. Matt, the API is designed around allowing access to the internals of trains from external applications and even hardware. The main driving force allow people to make their own realistic train driving controls. It's surprisingly simple to connect a few components to a Raspberry Pi computer, write some simple code, and suddenly find yourself able to operate the throttle from a realistic lever. Or you can just buy a controller. The API also allows access to other areas like seeing what speed limits, signals, and gradients are ahead, and even letting you control the weather. So, gradients, my suggestion. I lobbied for it a lot. And even letting you control the weather. Imagine a set of physical sliders as found on MIDI control desks being able to let you control the weather on the fly. Sounds like it's great for developers, but what about the many players out there? Is this relevant for them? I have a MIDI control desk, so yes. The API is going to be directly useful for developers who can write the code, but where the players are going to benefit is what they produce, whether it's physical hardware controls or other fun software features and external applications, or silly things like MIDI keyboards that can control the weather. Ultimately, this benefits the players by allowing more creative people to enhance their experience in all kinds of fun and interesting ways. One of the cool things about an API like this is that people often find new and fun ways to use the API beyond how it was intended. I can't wait to see what people do with it. What's the story here for console players? Unfortunately, the API is not available on the console platform due to platform limitations, i.e. they won't let you. It's something we'd like to try and find a solution for in the future, but it's only possible on the PC. I doubt they can find a solution, to be honest with you, because the console people probably won't let them. If someone reading this is a developer, how are they going to make use of this API? Read the documentation. Developers never do that. There you go. Just as an interest in, I can talk about this now. I'm allowed. I did check. Back when I was a beta tester, which I'm not anymore, but back when I was, I spent about 8 hours or so. And in that process, I also learned Python because I felt like it, just to make it more difficult instead of using one of the languages I already knew. And I was actually able to control trains, multiple trains at the same time using the AI. It wasn't perfect, but it worked and it did stuff. So it was kind of cool. I had some fun with it. So I'm sure we'll see some interesting stuff come out. There you go. Are developers already using it? Yes. So TS controllers, which is not the TSCX thing I've got, just to be confusing, have a range of physical hardware controls available. Update their software to use the API for full native support of TSW6. Gone are the days of keyboard emulation for less than satisfactory result. The API makes these devices feel much more realistic. Yes, they are actually pretty good. I thought about buying some when I was in the UK on holiday and bringing them back, but I ended up not doing it because I was running too close to my weight limit and actually went slightly over, but they let me get away with it. Thanks, Emirates. Another developer has released an application called Third Rails, which is a bit of a Swiss Army knife. It now has full integration using the API and lets players join in with friends sharing their data online, as well as real-time live tracking map of people playing where they are and many other things. I have showed that off on stream. So we've done that before. It is actually kind of cool. You can see where your train is in the real world. Lastly, that I'm aware of, ProCab simulators are building realistic Class 700 control desks based on the Corey's compact driver training simulator desk. The desk makes use of great use of the API to map the control styles and other functions on the desk. There is also another one of those that people don't talk very much about, sadly. I might do another video on that one because I need to get hold of the individual, make sure that they're happy for me to do that, and then find a way to access to their stuff because, I'm in another country at the moment. But anyway, more on that later. The other one's better, just saying. It's by Daisy. It's more properly accessible because that's what she's aiming at. All right, just about any programming language should work. So if you can make HTTP requests over TCP and understand the JSON response that comes back. There you go. Yeah, it's actually not all that hard. So, get into it, use some AI, teach you how to do it. It'll be fine. TSW6 is available on GeForce Now, so you can stream the beast. So it's another platform, essentially. There you go. So if you want to stream it to something else, you can. That does mean that you can, well, in theory, if you can support this, it means that you can stream the game to a potato. And there's more stuff coming next week. Isn't that fun? Yep, good. And there is a roadmap live stream. Yep, with JD and Matt. Yep, it's happened a couple of days ago. I couldn't watch it because I was heading to a real railway at the time. So there you go. Isn't that fun? Yes, that's lots of fun. All right, that's it, I think, for the roadmap. Yep. That's it. Been a long video. If you're still here, I'm impressed. Alrighty, have fun, folks. Any comments, questions, chuck them down below, and we shall see you later. Where we is me. I am the only one here. Yep, we is me. I'm the only one running this channel. Always has, probably always will be. That's okay. I did not. Yeah, it's never going to get that big, is it? No, not likely. No. Bye now. Have fun.
We played a game.